I kicked the pilot out of the plane to reduce the aircraft's weight, just to save as much fuel as possible. The next second, he vanished into the sky thousands of feet below. I gritted my teeth and slammed the cabin door shut, then rushed back to the cockpit, but the fuel gauge kept dropping. With the little fuel we had left, there was no way we'd make it back to land, so I started throwing everything off the plane, trying to make it as light as possible. Until I picked up the last crate of liquor, my boyfriend suddenly stopped me, because the bottles were filled with alcohol, which might work as emergency fuel. But a new problem quickly appeared. The fuel cap was on top of the wing, and I was the only one who could reach it. I opened the cabin door and gripped the outer rail with both hands, slowly climbing onto the top of the plane. Below me stretched an endless ocean. If the plane shook even slightly, the wind could sweep me away. But I had no other choice, so I pressed my body against the fuselage and crawled inch by inch toward the fuel tank. Through the window, my boyfriend handed me the first bottle. Just as I bit off the cap, the plane suddenly jolted violently. The bottle flew from my hand and I nearly slipped off the wing. Luckily, at the last moment, I grabbed the edge in time and barely held on. I didn't have time to be afraid, so I told my boyfriend to hand me another bottle. This time, I waited for the wind to ease before carefully opening the fuel cap. One hand clung tightly to the wing, while the other poured the alcohol into the tank. Finally, the fuel gauge rose slightly. Seeing that, my boyfriend and I felt a spark of hope. Next, I poured bottle after bottle into the tank until the final bottle shattered inside the cabin, destroying our second chance completely. After finishing, I started crawling back, but the return trip was even more dangerous. The wind kept trying to throw me off, and the wing shook violently in the turbulence. After a desperate struggle, I finally made it back inside and shut the cabin door. Then I looked at the fuel gauge again. It had risen a little, but soon started dropping once more. The alcohol could keep us flying a bit longer, but it was nowhere near enough to save us.